Coming up next on In the Box Seat podcast.
You need to remember we're also going into our Champions season, which every year we try to, take up the players and prepare it for our Champions season, for our build-up to the Devon July and the Gold Challenge. So it was coming anyway to some extent. Yeah. But with the Hollywood and Cape Racing coming forth, at least it has become easier.
Welcome to another edition of In the Box Seat. And we've managed to get rid of Len Ferner. He is swanning around Germiston trying to buy a horse. I don't know what with. I don't think he's got any cash, but anyway, he'll give it a try. With me, I've got a very special person today. Man works behind the scenes. He works very hard. Ed Taruvinga. What is your position in Gold Circle?
Thank you for having me.
Toughest game in.
I'm the buildings and facilities manager for the organization. Basically, everything you see, all the physical stuff that you see, I'm responsible to make sure everything is in good nick.
Oh, that's a tough job. How long have you been with Gold Circle?
13 years going. Tough. We just have to go with the flow. Sometimes tough, but dealing with people and contractors and event people who don't really care.
How many staff have you got underneath you?
I've got about 34.
Okay. To keep the lid on. Yeah. And I'm just thinking now, I mean, we've got Hollywood have obviously taken over. Greyville's changed from blue and white to black and white. Looks very smart, very corporate. But in the ensuing years, before Hollywood came on board, you had to do a lot of work on a shoestring, and you kept the place going. That's pretty good go.
Yeah, it was. It had to be done, and we had to jump through the fire hoops, so to speak, and keep the ship floating. But future is looking brighter, as you're saying. We're going black and white, trying to match the kind of colors, the group colors.
Right.
Yeah, with the Cape Racing and
it's very corporate.
Corporate, and also to try and have colors that will match with our other sponsors there as well. We have other sponsors outside of Hollywood and.
I see World Sports Betting has just signed up for the Champions season. Yes, good news. Yeah, yeah. No, okay. I mean, let's start. We go through. We'll go through place to place. The roof at Greyville is a mess. Every time it rained, it leaked, and a media center too. And put buckets under the roof. You have replaced the roof.
Yes, it's a project in progress as we speak. It's 85% done, still going on. Costly. We're going to be replacing about 90% of the roof, and to reconfigure the way it was. We're no longer having the main gutter in the middle,
right?
Like the fish one. We're having it on the far end here to allow for water to disperse much more easier, and to have more outlets so that we don't have water pooling on the roof. But it came at the right time. It was long overdue.
No, it was, yes. And the solar panels on the silver roof?
Yes,
they're still there.
Yes, but that wasn't affected, and hopefully with the new roof we can roll out the next project for our solar farm.
I don't think most of the punters would actually worry about the roof anyway, unless they got me. So let's start on other things. I see, looking down into the parade ring now, the gazebo has disappeared.
The gazebo is gone. We're going into the future. It was kind of, it had a museum look, so to speak. So we're trying to put up something modern as we go into the future with a wider opening and a permanent champagne trot bar, so that we don't have to be moving tables every time on rest days, in and out, that sort of things. And it's going to be quite open and spacious to allow for also small interviews and for the winners to be able to celebrate in there. So it's going to be looking quite...
When we quite flashy. Yeah. I must say I'm a traditionalist, so I'll be quite sad to see it go.
I love the old
I've
one.
seen it there for 42 years now, and now it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we have to live to evolve over time.
No. And I see also all the changes in the parading. Where is that golden horseshoe in the front? Is that still going to be the main lead-in area?
It's the one in the front is staying. It's not going. It's staying, but we're having another one here for the winning horse, just to do the quarter shoes and that sort of thing. So we will still have our traditional one. We're gonna deck it up as well.
So, but you're moving the number one box away from where in the traditional place.
Yes.
I see the bloke is going to cut through a water pipe there, sort of there. Maybe you should show him again now.
Yes, I'm working on it with my team to make sure we sort all that. And with this type of construction, we're dealing with a 150-year-old facility.
Yes.
And some of the matriculation, we don't even know what's underneath. It's only when we open the patients, then we find there's a missing aorta, the heart is on the left side. Or that.
No plan.
But we've got a capable team.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so who are you going to stand on the railway? It's quite nice. But now what else is going on?
As you have mentioned, we're doing the parade ring, and we're also doing the generator farm to try and boost up our power.
Yeah.
With the new LED lights coming up on the track that will save power, moving away from the old halogen that we're consuming a lot of wattage. So the generator farm is coming up at the old stabling area, which maybe or maybe not. If it's sufficient, we might continue to roll out the next level of the solar project.
So those LED lights that they don't pull as much.
No, they can't, and they're brighter as. And apart from the lighting, we also gonna have the flashy laser lights put up a show from the home straight when the horses are coming after the winning, so we can have the razzmatazz hall.
Sure, that sounds very exciting. Again, I agree with it, but anyway.
Yeah.
No, because I was just talking to Michelle Wing before we came on show. She was up there when they were putting up the new LED poles. And she said it was fascinating. They put the lights on, then they put the poles up. And then they've got lasers of things to pinpoint where the lights are going to go. So it was fascinating.
Yeah. With so much money being spent, there's no room for mistakes, and we want it to last another 70 years.
70 years, right?
So it has to be done right. There's a lot of money being spent. So with technology is an enabler, so to speak, yes. So with laser, we need to make sure the lines are straight, and the aesthetics, and the symmetry, and everything.
So that sounds like really exciting, because they're putting a new poly. Do you know when the poly track to be ready?
We're aiming to have it ready by the end of this month. The rejuvenation of the poly had fatigued. And, it's a mix of wax, fiber, and sand.
Yes.
And the mix has gone tired. And to also try and improve on the dry image. And other than rejuvenating the poly itself, we also trying to create a channel between the poly and the golf course site. As you know, this racecourse was built on a swamp,
Yes.
on a wetland,
Yeah.
and it's the catchment area. As you can see in Musgrave is higher. All the water comes down here.
Yes.
And we had issues where water was flowing onto the poly
Yes.
and pulling. So we tried to create a channel to drain with the grace so that we don't have those.
So it must be much easier if you got Royal Durban to make bigger dams and it'll be water. So the golfers can hit their ball into the water.
Yeah, but we still need to race
Yeah.
so that we don't have
No, it won't be nice, yeah, because of the drainage was always a problem around about the 1200 meter mark. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it's going to improve in future with the investment and change that we're making around the band.
And the Grandstand in particular, the Durban View restaurant. So you revamping it as well.
Yes, definitely. It's with restaurants, people get tired of, you get regulars, they get tired of seeing the same look
Yes.
over and over time. So we're trying to, give it a new look, rejuvenate it as well, so to speak, new flooring, new bathrooms, and to make it exciting and
Yes.
make it modern. And other than that, as you have mentioned, the grandstand, we're doing away with the benches. We're putting bucket seats, proper bucket seats. We call them the FIFA bucket seats, right? At a soccer
All right.
stadium,
Yeah.
so that people can be comfortable as they sit at the grandstand, or when they celebrate, they can actually stand and cheer, and they think the seats will be strong enough to take
Take a beating.
and the beating, so to speak.
I don't know, when you bloke uses this 10,000 rand, he picks up the seat.
It happens. It happens
It's
when
happened.
punches when they win or lose, the excitement is the same. And same guys punching toilet dispensers when they lose, or doing the same when they win.
They haven't seen the Inferno in action. The coffee cup goes up and jish.
Yeah. So we're trying to make sure that everything that we're doing, we got that in consideration, that it can it can stand the.
So generally, the whole area is taken with a big revamp. Who actually planned all this?
We had before the Hollywood and Cab Racing came into the picture. We had the plan in place,
Right.
but with money being the constraints, certain things you can't do without money, and with money you can do anything,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yeah.
As I've mentioned, we're dealing with the racecourse itself. It's about 150 years old, but the built facilities are about 75 years old, and maintenance is ongoing.
Yes.
It's never ending. You touch from one end, by the time you get to the other end, you need to go
Going back again.
and to try and fit into the new look and attract the youngsters. We need to go with everything that pinning in the Durban Princess and be able to compete.
Yeah.
You can see there's new malls popping everywhere, mushrooming, and the designs are changing, and we can't just be a museum and stay
Right.
as otherwise we're just gonna die in national attack.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's completely opposite. Like in England, they like the tradition and nothing changes there. But yeah, I suppose we have to sort of kind of bring ourselves into the first world of racing. I mean, you look at Dubai, Maydam, or
Yeah, you're right. I think the culture is different.
yeah,
There, if you look the body numbers and the culture of wrestling there is totally different from what we are. With the Panther in our country having so many choices now,
yes,
and with online betting coming so strongly, the Gen Zs, they've got so many choices and things like that, and they're not loyal.
no.
And
Gen Z.
the Gen Zs,
Look
yeah.
at these two.
So we gotta make the place.
Attractive. Yes.
They're gonna be, maybe they will in the future, the people to be loyal and kick it like back to race.
Yeah, I think marketing racing, though, it's always been a difficult sort of thing. You know, right when casinos are out, racing was under pressure. It was much easier to go into like that's what on hand, but now you push buttons. When I'm ready, I'll bah!
Yes, as you mentioned, there's a lot of competition as well in the gaming industry. Every third month, I think there's a new player. You get super squad betting and the traditional betting companies. So the competition is also coming up strong and fast. So we better be
on the ball.
Put the ball in the head of her.
I don't envy Stephen Marshall's job. What happens? It's a tough job. But they're doing a great job on social media. Come open time. My butt. Only one out I wish to push. Gold circuit comes up. Say, no, they know what they do.
Yes, they know. I do also watch from the background, seeing.
Well, you're doing a great job. I mean, just looking around now, I mean, there's hardly anything. So much just started really. I was just looking at the facade now. I mean,
other than the upgrades and the renovations, you need to remember we're also going into our Champions season, which every year we try to, take up the place and prepare it for our Champions season, for our build up to the Devon July and the Gold Challenge. So it was coming anyway to some extent.
Yeah.
But with the Hollywood and Cape Racing coming forth, at least has become easier that there is financial muscle for us to do things properly and to try and change the
just you see all this, the stabling the back that's you putting money into that.
Eventually it's going to happen, but what you see is got to do with this generator farm for now.
Okay.
But yes, in the future it's going to happen. The horsework is being re-rubberized. It is also been fatigued over time. And with us lying in a swamp, we've got a lot of moisture coming from underneath. This area, when you dig about a meter, you hit the water table. When you look at the swamps on the golf course, I can tell when the tide is high, when they get bigger, or when I see more ducks and...
Well, I'll tell you what you can do to get rid of gainy water. You put a couple of boreholes in.
Yeah, we could, but the water is a bit salty and that's it.
It's a brackish.
Yeah.
Well,
But it helps with the irrigation. We use the groundwater which does.
Yeah, the track is looking very good. But Curtin,
he is yesterday. Our track managers yesterday as well as doing a good job here, and the Scottsville, and we got good climate here as well. In that we don't have severe winters, and not so hot summers. Like so, we like.
Well, I just pray that we don't have weather like we had when the right prerogative one here, Eugene Tropicate, I thought you remember what year it was. We had a massive storm before the July. In the morning of the race meeting, everything was underwater. We didn't race until the July. Because everybody was wandering around. Most people were so drunk by the time the race came, because there was no racing. But it was so hopefully all the water get drained off quickly.
Yeah, sometimes with the weather, you can't hold the sky. Remember when the other Gold Challenge, when it was the Gold Cup, when we couldn't have it because it was raining like 3 weeks endlessly, and we had to rest somewhere mid-August. I think end of August.
I don't know. Devon gets those funny storms. I remember in 1995 with the World Cup semi-final rugby. Yeah, Team Spot. It's the same thing. We arrived with it at the stadium. I was fortunate enough to have a ticket, and the heavens open for about 2 hours. Full. Actually, the Swedes getting the auto. Eventually had the game, but I mean, it was touch and go. Well, I hope people don't get a prize there.
You know, talking about that, you know, it's the golf course, they're still pumping water. It's Devon Country Club.
Oh, well, yeah, well, that's with surfing and open really got washed out. Yeah, well, Nick Johnson must have been caught in there. No, that was, we had a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Op die soort grass stay.
Yeah.
Find that all heaps.
We do need the rain, but sometimes in our industry it can, cold.
But I see in the media center there, but
We'll get you umbrellas. We'll get you umbrellas to use while you work.
Ed, I mean, what else can you tell me? You've done a fine job.
Yeah, it's as I've said, just to recap, is the rejuvenation of the poly, the LED lights around the track, the solar farm, the also re-rubberizing, the upgrade of the parade ring, the roof itself, and the painting, which is more the cosmetics, the decorative is going on, which we're rolling out, and hopefully by the end of June, we should be done with most of the work and continue with some of the corrective maintenance work after the Champions season, so that they're just out of the way. Then the theater can just begin and we can just, enjoy the show.
Right. Be remiss of me not to mention Hollywood. I mean, they really put everything into this. I mean, when they do something, they do. But
yes, they do. They do. They do, and they want us to be successful as they are. So we're quite happy to have them on board, and hopefully, with our experience and our expertise and what they do as well, sure it's a thing.
Right. And also, Cape Town and KZN are two different sort of racing jurisdictions. We got different punchy. Cape Town, they've got the Swallows. There we got the lads who like to punt. Yeah. So,
Oh yes, we do have a good crowd. Yeah.
yeah. So and then Saturday nights. I mean Friday nights when they put those lights up to be unbelievable. Truly.
It will be. Even currently getting our regular punters, even on non-residents, coming to see what we do. Just ask, they can have a look, just to see where these new lights that everybody's talking about, what is happening, where are the bucket seats, what's happening on the roof, and things like that. We've become sort of a tourist center where people want to.
No, well, that's good because I think, we'd be afraid with all the upgrades, we can actually market ourselves internationally now. And not just a Mickey Mouse 40-gun Grandstand. No, that's extremely really tough. So this Hollywoodbets Durban July should be a stunner.
Definitely. I'm sure we might have one of the best Julys is this year.
Ed, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. I wouldn't like you at all.
Yeah, we jump through fire whoops and we try to do the best that we can. And believe you me, it's a job where you go to bed with a plan. You wake up the next morning. The plan doesn't work. Things have just gone the other way around. Even with the roof works, when we exposed the roof with a storm, the downpour, our ceilings came down, our carpets got flooded, boxes and suites that had just been renovated, they were destroyed. A lot of money, not wasted, but nature.
No, sure.
Its cost, and to try and correct that, it's.
And I suppose with no roof, the insurance don't pay.
Yeah. So, but we find our ways, and we've got a good team, a reliable team that knows how to do those sort of things, and with the Hollywood team and with the contractors that they have on side, we manage to sort. It's ongoing.
Thank you very much. Doing a brilliant job. Because even whenever exploring down the Woodsburg.
Welcome. It's what we do.
Export retreat to us. Just a short one. This is recording on a Thursday, so it's the first day of the Nationals at the Durban. Hardly and Ferner can buy a horse. It's someone else's money. But yeah, it should be a great sale. And World Sports Betting have come on. It's a champion season, which wants in the races, which is good. The things are looking up, and you've done a fine job. So we appreciate it, and I'm sure all the punters will appreciate it. So thanks for coming on the show, and don't worry, we'll catch up.
Yes, oh, definitely. It is, as said, it's what we do, making sure everything is working, all our fire equipment, the water. Like we didn't have water yesterday for almost 16 hours to deal with all those things, backups, and to make sure our annual services for our fire equipment to comply and dealing with the city and everything.
You got a list of things. You meant to keep a list.
Yeah, I do to some extent. I've got a list, but I say to you before, I can have a list, but things can just change.
Thank you, Ed.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show, and Warren, we'll see you in the box seat.